I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Finally, The Rock has come back. I hate this idea that you're the best.
And if you're not down with that, we got two words for ya!
I'm the best in the world.
I fight at WrestleMania for the very, very small percentage of people that walk this planet and say I am proud to be, I'm sorry, a professional wrestler.
Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
It's Podcast of the Immortals with your hosts, Matt Bush and Jimmy Bellamy.
All right. Welcome to episode 34 of Podcast of the Immortals. I'm Matt Bush.
I'm Jimmy Bellamy. Kirby Puckett.
Ooh. Yes, let's talk about numbers again.
Yeah, no. 34. We won't do that.
Kirby Puckett. Quick fact about Kirby Puckett. In his first...
Loves to push women into bathrooms.
That was one time.
I should say loved. Past tense, he's dead.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Kirby.
Yeah. But he had 16 hits, which within like 7 games or something like that to start his career. And was Pinto the new catcher?
Josmiel Pinto
was hitting like 560
for the Minnesota Twins. For those of you who are like, who the hell is this?
Has like 14 hits in the same amount of time, so it's second best of all time to start a career for a Twin.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but we need to talk about some wrestling, of course. We got a good show for you tonight. The go-home show on Raw for Night of Champions was just last night, so we got a lot to talk about there. But first, we're going to talk about our WrestleNewz segment. We got 5 items that I think are kind of interesting, and then we're going to finish up the show with a preview of Night of Champions. We're going to give our predictions. We're actually going to have a writer from WrestleNewz call in, Jonathan Essington, and I might have totally just messed
Essington?
up. Is it Essington?
It's Jonathan Essington, who's our boy.
Essington.
Yes. That's what I said. Jonathan Essington.
That's what I said too.
You said Essinger.
I think I put it in the phone wrong.
And you're gonna listen back on the playback and be like, I did say Essinger.
Yeah.
If we've learned anything through 33 episodes, it's that you're not good with names.
No, I'm not. That's true. That's very true.
So it's okay.
Yeah, Rod Van Dam is
Jonathan Essington of WrestleNewz.com
is going to come in. We're going to talk about Night of Champions, so we'll have that to finish up the show for you guys. But we'll get right into it. And WrestleNewz number 1. Last night, I don't know if you heard, but it was an awesome crowd in Toronto. They were doing the chants.
I watched the whole show on mute.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
No, did you really? No, you didn't. Come on, man. Okay. Sometimes I don't know. So there was a lot of chants, like they were chanting for Randy Savage, Undertaker, kind of like what Rock Romania did.
Yeah.
And another fan was dressed up and caused the incident, the chanting for Randy Savage, because he was dressed up as late Randy Savage. And during the RVD and Ryback match, the fan was spoken to by WWE officials to tone it down. And I think this is really weird because you'd think you want the crowd to kind of be into it and really be jazzed, and for them to kind of put a kibosh on is kind of weird to me.
It's not surprising to me because in the past you've read reports over the years of them taking people's signs away.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about if somebody has a sign that just says F word, but taking away a sign
It's just a giant sign.
F-word.
Yeah.
But then we've also heard about people who have been given signs by WWE to hold.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't surprise me that they do that, and maybe now that they are able to have SmackDown sound pumped in on every episode because it's not live, maybe they feel like, okay, this is a way that we can alter the live show. It does seem a little odd because, I mean, anytime whether it was in school or even at a sporting event, if you're in high school and you're watching a hockey game and somebody like yells at you, or yells at the crowd, not just you. I've never been yelled at in that sense. It gets weird for everybody around and everybody involved, and it just seems like it would kill the mood for people to do that. Oh, and by the way, there's Mo.
Hey, Mo.
Hey, Mo. We're gonna record this podcast. You cool with that? All right. Can you sit? Can you sit?
No. Maybe.
Sit.
Oh, yeah.
Good boy. Lay down.
Way to go, Mo.
He just laid down. Good job, buddy. All right.
Well, yeah, I don't know. This is the second week in a row we've heard about this kind of stuff. And, like, I don't know. Like, these kind of fans have actually made the live experience better. Mm-hmm. And you can feel that through the TV. So why they want to stop that is beyond me.
Simple solution. Stop dressing as Randy Savage.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're going to ban... That's going to be Triple H's next move as COO, probably.
This crowd was great. Like a lot of the non-American crowds have been in recent stops. I expected it to be electric, and it was... It enhanced the experience. And it's sad that anyone would want to tone it down.
Yeah.
Because, again, you're going to get the opposite reaction that you want. I mean, what did they want people to start paying attention to the match and like start chanting Ryback, although he is a heel. And that was kind of a crap match.
It was
anyway.
really bad, yeah. And I'll talk about the chants in a little bit because there was just an adorable chant that I want to talk about. But I'll just tease it at that. WrestleNewz number 2. There's been talk of a big time face turn for a current heel. Any idea who I might be talking about?
Oh boy, let me guess. No.
Hold on. We have a special guest call-in, and he doesn't even know that we're recording now. So I'm going to answer this. Andy McKinnon, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what are you doing?
Me and Jimmy are recording the podcast right now.
Jimmy and I. Just kidding. I'm kidding. What's up, man? I almost said what's up, Madden. What's up, Madden?
Well, I have not watched Raw yet.
Wow.
I just started Total Divas. I got to do it in order.
Let me call me when Hulk Hogan gets on the screen. It's unreal. He returns.
Yeah, Randy Savage returns too.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
I heard rumors NWO was going to show up.
For life.
Yeah, but it's just Buff Bagwell and Scott Norton.
Yeah.
Well, should we tell your audience that it's official? We have a suite.
Oh, breaking news.
It's just
breaking news.
Sweet.
We just booked for Elimination Chamber in February.
Nice.
That's awesome.
We are going big time.
Oh, dude.
Big times.
This will be great because it'll be 2 weeks after the Vikings win the Super Bowl. I mean, so Minneapolis will be on fire.
It'll be electric, yeah.
Literally, the riots will be so bad.
So long as they don't play Detroit again.
Smolder and burn for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Detroit's a really good team, Matt. So you watch them out.
No, that's what I said. As long as they don't run into Reggie Bush again, they're fine.
Oh, they'll meet in the conference.
All right, guys. Well, have fun on the podcast. We'll talk to you both soon.
Thank you. We'll see you Sunday for Night of Champions.
Yes, we got to do that for sure.
Hells yeah. All right, thanks, bud.
Bye, brother.
See you, boys.
All right, bye. Totally unannounced. Like, we did not plan that at all. Yeah, you just called in. Second week in a row he made it on the show.
That's perfect.
Awesome.
Andy. That's the hat trick for Andy. That's his third appearance on the show.
That is his third, yeah.
And he gets better and better every time.
But anyways, WrestleNewz number 2. Talk of a big-time heel turning face. Any idea who that might be?
Oh, boy.
And I don't know if he's a big-time heel, but he's...
Or do you mean like a guy you wouldn't expect to be a babyface?
Kinda, maybe.
Okay. Oh, boy. I'm not... It's not going to be this guy. A guy who I want to be babyface because he's teetering on the fence anyways. Fandango. That'd be great babyface.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think he is just because you said big-time heel, and he's clearly kind of both.
Well, big is the key word here.
Oh, boy. I can't even really think of the big guys. Big E. Langston?
Big E. Langston, yes.
Really?
They're contemplating turning him face in the next couple of weeks to have a big run as a face, which he was a face in NXT as champion.
With the 5 count, I say set it up. They've had, since the Ziggler mini feud, they've had nothing for him. Mm-hmm. He hasn't even appeared with AJ.
Yeah.
And I want to see Langston. He has proven from the episodes of NXT I've seen and from anybody who follows him on Twitter, the guy is awesome.
Yeah.
He's funny.
He's affable is a good word.
Yes. Oh, that's right up there with trope. And we had
we have many, and I marked them all as, so we'll go through those as
so excited. Langston as a babyface, do it. We need a guy who fits that. I guess it would be appropriate, and it would be a nice compliment to the opposite of the underdog, overpowered, oversized babyface, undersized babyface, and then overmatched with Daniel Bryan, and even like a guy like Dolph Ziggler, who, I mean, God, who did he fight last night? He got his ass kicked. Oh, he fought Bray Wyatt. And because he sells the hell out of these moves, he got his ass kicked.
Yeah. And
I was actually surprised at how easily he got defeated.
I have news on that possibly too, but yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, Big E Langston, I would be excited to see, because I think he's got the chops to go in the ring. He's funny as hell.
And I might be committing a sin by saying this, that I like this next guy, but they'd be doing him a favor if they turned The Miz heel again.
Yeah.
And that'd be a great flip-flop. Love to see it.
Double turn a la Stone Cold and Bret Hart.
And Del Rio Ziggler.
Yeah, there you go. WrestleNewz number 3. According to Figure 4 Weekly, Sheamus and John Cena are both planned to return at the 2014 Royal Rumble. Both of them.
John Cena and Sheamus?
Same event.
We speculated about that almost immediately.
Yeah.
But I guess part of me thought that Cena would come back before, just because he's their guy.
Yeah.
I'm fine with having to wait till then, because you know that you're not going to wait beyond the Rumble. They're going to make sure these guys are ready for the Rumble.
For the road to WrestleMania as
ready
well.
To Rumble.
Yeah.
Sorry, awful pun, cliche, whatever you call it.
I think it'd be kind of a waste, because then you're not going to get any other huge surprises that night, probably.
No, that's not necessarily true.
Well, you get your typical legend who makes his return, like the Godfather did last year.
I could see them advertising one or both of these returns, though, which I'm not always in favor of. And I'm not even talking about just the Royal Rumble, but when they're like, The Rock returns in 2 weeks, and I can understand the whole idea about that. You want people to get ready and have it on their mind and tune in. But the surprise returns, which are rare nowadays because everything gets out.
The Jericho one at the Rumble was insane. Cena at the Rumble in 2008 was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Lesnar returning, even though it kind of leaked, that he was down there.
Well, it didn't actually. Triple H had an interview on Grantland.com where he said that the night after WrestleMania this year, the crowd was chanting Lesnar, and Vince went up to Triple H and goes, "How do they know we have Brock?" And he goes, "They don't. They're just cheering for him, and they're just thinking that he'll be here."
I don't think that's right, because I remember reading that he was in Miami.
Okay.
The day of WrestleMania.
That was last year. I'm talking this year.
This year. Well, this year he didn't show up.
Yeah, didn't he beat up Punk?
No.
No. What pay-per-view? Okay, wait. What pay-per-view did he come at? What Raw post pay-per-view did he show up and beat up Punk? Or no, he beat up Cena again the second year.
What are you talking about? He wasn't at the Raw after Mania.
No, it's not the Raw after Mania I'm thinking of. It's before that, maybe, when he returned. When he returned again recently for the Punk feud.
Yeah, before SummerSlam?
I can't remember now.
Wow. That was literally...
I think we can be certain that person is awesome. Can we just
I'm pretty sure I just heard the greatest scooter of all time.
Oh my goodness. I hope I see a starting moment and be like, no, I hope I don't.
Like, local douche injures himself.
Yes, injures.
And no one else.
I'm going to have to call up that article again. But no, it wasn't the Miami Mania. It was sometime this year when Lesnar returned. Because he beat up Cena again didn't he beat up Cena a second time? He ended a show beating up Cena in a similar fashion.
I can't remember.
Yeah, whatever. But there was one time where the crowd was chanting for him, and this is all according to Triple H. And then Vince was like, "How did they know? Because no one knew, no one saw him come in." And he said that they were just chanting his name and kind of expecting him to be there or hoping he'd be there, and he showed up. So.
Wow. Well, I mean, even those are good. But, yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be missing something knowing this far in advance. Because both of their injuries just lined up perfectly to come back in January. So that's kind of boring.
I don't know. I just don't care.
One of them can probably win it.
I'd like to think Dan O'Brien will be the Rumble winner this next year, but
assuming he's not the champion.
Yeah, I don't care about these surprise Rumble. I don't care about those two returning because there's no surprise anyway. They're due to come back around that time. So, but I still think we're going to see Cena before.
So WrestleNewz number 4, Randy K. Orton is dating a total diva.
Oh, do I get to guess?
Yeah. Let's play that game.
I'm just going to say Eva Marie.
Wrong.
Okay. Oh, God. Well, now I'm going to have to... That really narrows it down. I mean, there's only so many. He's not dating JoJo.
He is dating JoJo. The 19-year-old JoJo and a 33-year-old Randy Orton are apparently in a relationship according to WrestleInc.com. I don't see this going well for JoJo.
No.
Poor little JoJo.
Wow. She's, what's funny is she's close. I think she's closer to Randy Orton's daughter's age than she is to Randy Orton.
Probably. Yeah.
Wow.
I want to doubt it.
Or about the same. Because, I mean, his kid's got to be, 5 at least? I don't know. Nor do I care. Well, I'm happy for them.
Okay. I'm just a little worried. You talked about the singer JoJo, and JoJo's been singing, trying to sing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you watched Total Divas this week, but she bombed on Main Event one night trying to sing.
I have. Well, she was great at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I have not seen this week's Total Divas. And actually, I'm 10 minutes or 15 minutes into SmackDown from this past week.
Well, anyways, she tried to sing along with the Funkadactyls and do a dance and stuff on Main Event and just bombed. But she also didn't she sing like God Bless America?
No, she sang the anthem at
National
SummerSlam.
Anthem. Yeah, that's what I meant. So she's trying to be a singer, but JoJo, the singer, is saying, "Get out, leave right now."
Yeah.
I think she's going to end up singing that song to Randy Orton eventually because he can't. He's not the most faithful dude I've heard.
That was a really roundabout way of getting there, man.
Yeah, I like the scenic view, the old highways and stuff. So yeah, that'll be an interesting storyline on season 2 of Total Divas, I'm sure.
Can't wait.
WrestleNewz number 5.
I wouldn't even be shocked if they just manufactured that.
Oh,
we need to
that
get
show's
Randy
faker
Orton.
than wrestling.
We need to get Randy Orton TV time. We'll have him date somebody from Total Divas.
Yeah, there you go.
It's fine with me.
He's the people's champion, Number 5, Dolph Ziggler is being punished. Apparently, for something he said in an interview during SummerSlam week. Now, I'm going to find what exactly he was being, what he said, or why he's being, or what, he's being punished.
I read the report, and I think I saw it on Pro Wrestling Torch, and it said, he I'll paraphrase, he said something like, he wants to be that main event guy and stay there. He doesn't want to be like, oh, hey, wow, look at that great thing you did here. Now, go back here. And that's what he kept saying was he was kind of roughly quoting people by saying, wow, look at you. You did this amazing thing. Way to go. Now get back in line. And he was basically saying he wants to be rewarded for the good things he's done and stay there.
Yeah.
And he briefly mentioned that title run and losing it. And then he talked about the injury. But it was, I read that and I thought, wow, this is really candid.
Yeah.
And I like candid interviews. I'll take them. I love them. But I can see where when these guys are out of character and they do say something candid that's not, I guess, putting the business in the most positive of light, I can imagine that they do get in the doghouse for that. And I remember when I saw that quote, I thought, oh, geez, this could hurt him. Because he was responding in a way a former employee would respond.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that from Zack Ryder, too. Every once in a while, he'll tweet something that's like, are you trying to never work again?
Is he working at all?
I don't at all want to think that... I don't want people to think, and even if a wrestler or a future wrestler hears this and thinks, or somebody in any profession hears this and thinks, oh, well, I need to not say stuff. No, because working in journalism, I hate nothing more than getting the same canned crap quote from somebody.
Yeah.
And when I worked in sports, it was terrible because you got the same BS from coaches and players before and after every game.
Give better effort, 110%, all the chips on them,
I think a lot of times, like, and right now we have the Minnesota Twins baseball game on behind us. They're playing out a string, I think, final 20 games of the year. They're long out of it.
They're really trying to go 0-20 and get to 100 losses again. And I think they're at 62.
I think you see this group, and you look at baseball in particular, 162 games. That's a long season. They don't need to talk after every game. I think it's just overkill now. And if I were Ron Gardenhire or any baseball coach or any coach going through a crappy season, especially, I'd be like, what do you want me to say to them?
Yeah.
I mean, we're
suck. Not as good as the other people.
I mean, we have minor leaguers on our team. We're terrible.
Yeah.
But everybody needs to know every stupid thing going on. And, but hopefully this won't deter other people from speaking up. And also I hope this doesn't hurt Ziggler too much because he's too good. And I think he's too valuable. And if they don't see that, it's a shame. But I think once he gets through this little punishment phase, he'll be fine because they're proving with Bryan right now they're rewarding talent.
Yeah.
And Ziggler, he's too hard of a worker and too good.
Well, I think it's kind of petty to punish him by their spot on the Raw. Like, can you imagine during Friends run, like maybe Jennifer Aniston had farted in someone's cereal or something, and then they write her off the show for a while? No, that would hurt the show. Like, you
farted in someone's cereal? Okay, all right. I was taking that too literally. I guess.
Well, or pooped on the floor and didn't clean it up, or I don't know, whatever.
Well, maybe they were punishing Courtney Cox because her character just got worse and worse. I mean, she was just terrible at the end.
We're getting off track.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about another television show. CM Punk just tweeted within the last hour, holy, period, shit, period, Breaking Bad. You're my only friend, Abba Zabba, hashtag. You just started watching Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and as the second you leave my house tonight, I'm turning it on, and I'm probably not going to shut it off until I go to work in the morning.
How far are you now?
I'm 9 episodes in.
9.
It's in its entirety, it's 62 episodes, and I am through 2 episodes of season 2.
Nice.
So I've got a ways to go. But I have every
I'm so
episode.
Excited for you, though.
I have every episode accounted for. With Netflix and with my DVR, I have every episode accounted for.
Wow.
And by week's end, I'm going to be gone all weekend, away from civilization. So I've got... I think I can get caught up by the end of Friday afternoon or Monday at the latest.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
I know, dude. I called you. I called you a few days ago. You know this, so shouldn't even tell you. But audience, friends, I called Matt the other day and I said, "How awesome would it be if you could forget everything that you know about Breaking Bad?" Because I know nothing. All I know is that this show people have raved about since it's been on, even though ratings weren't that great the first couple of years. Everybody knew it was a great show. It was just, it's an AMC show, and it's 2008, 2009, 2010, where people aren't really into sitting in front of your TV and watching it when it's on. Therefore ratings reflect poorly, but everybody loves this show. Some people say it's the best show ever, and we in this day and age are prone to throwing ever at the end of something and best in front of it all the time, but people are like, no, this is the best. So knowing that and being spoil free, which I'm ecstatic about, that's the other reason why I want to hurry up and get the hell caught up, because I know I'm gonna run into something on Twitter and Facebook.
Well, just on the way here, the stupid jackass on the radio is giving out spoilers. I'm like, dude, and let me say this. If I do hear something, that's my own damn fault. This show's been on for 5 years and I have never seen it, and I intentionally stayed away from it because in that time I went periods with no TV. I went periods with no dish. I went periods with dish, and I had so many shows that I'm watching or have watched or was watching or whatever, that this show is one I stayed away from so I could watch it in bulk. I didn't want to have to wait week. So this way,
I get to see it all, and I'm really excited. But anybody, if you're like, if I started talking about the Avengers or whatever, if we gave away the ending to the Avengers, and tough shit, dude. I mean, that movie came out last year. Go bleep yourself.
Guess what? Iron Man didn't die. Yeah. Guess what?
Hey, let me give you a good story here too. We'll get back to the wrestling, we promise. But we last summer during the 2012 Olympic Games, I work at, if you don't know, I work at the newspaper in Duluth, and we were, refresh my memory, where the hell was the Olympics?
Oh, crap.
Holy Jesus.
London.
Yeah, it was in London. We were doing our job and reporting the news as it happens, and we were posting stories on our website, on our Twitter account, on our Facebook account, and we had some jackass start a boycott the Duluth News Tribune Facebook page because we were giving Olympics results, and they're like, I haven't watched it. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. We are doing our job, and we're giving you this news as it happens. I mean, stay off of Facebook, stay off of Twitter, you effing loser, if it means that much to you, you moron.
On the other hand, I hate when TV... Like, they'll always have a tease, like, during whatever show's on at 5 or whatever. They're like, stay tuned. Is there a serial rapist raping everybody in town? Stay tuned in 1 hour and we'll tell you. And I'm like, I need to know about this right now.
And that's such an outdated practice. Yeah. I mean, but I love TV news. We have a news partner at our newspaper. We are news partners with a TV station, and they do an awesome job. But that's such an outdated practice, and you'll see that. I'll be watching Happy Endings was my favorite show.
I loved it.
Rest in peace, awesome show. And the person on the local news station would be like, blah 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 at 10, and be like, yeah, I knew that 12 hours ago. I'm not going to stay up till 10 and watch your newscast. Yeah. Sorry. So that's so outdated, but it's just, I think it'll take a whole bunch of people to retire before they end up changing that around.
Yeah.
So anyway, stay off of Facebook, you GD loser, if you're going to be like, I don't want these Olympic spoilers, or if it means that much to you, unfollow us or unlike us for a little while. But
I'm sorry that this happened 7 hours ago.
How dare you? I haven't caught up on my DVR yet, or no, I guess not DVR. It'd be that because NBC was running it on a delay. But just stop it. Like, I could understand, be like, oh crap, if that were me, if I really wanted to watch it, I can't watch anything after it's happened. Like, I DVR'd half of the Vikings game on Sunday because I had errands to run, and I got back there, and all I did was fast forward it and watch the score tick tick tick, and then I watched every score, and I was like, all right, I'm good. And I recorded it in standard def, which was terrible. That was my bad. How do people live?
I don't know.
That? I know you right now, Matt right now is like, fuck, will you just stop talking about this non-wrestling stuff? Oh my god.
We just got a lot of show today.
But like, let me just say, if I'm Joe Bag of Donuts and I'm on Facebook and I see Olympics results, I'd be like, oh, well, this is my fault. I'm not gonna look at Facebook then. I wouldn't be like, how dare you, people who are doing your job? Like, oh my god, I want all those people to line up so I can punch them in the nose.
One time I got spoiled about something in Game of Thrones. And it was something from the book that hadn't happened on the show yet. But I was caught up on the show, but I was spoiled on what's going to happen in the next couple episodes. And it was on a completely unrelated post, and I was angry. Like, it was just one of the comments.
Yeah.
And I was scrolling through, and I like, it was voted all the way, like, it was down, so I couldn't see it, but I had to click on it. But I like those.
Can we talk about wrestling? No, I'm just kidding.
But I like those comments because I like to see what people, what crap people said. And there was
it's usually just the N-word. I think that's all it is.
Yeah. Although that one usually gets upvoted.
Oh, come on.
It does. It's bad. Anyways.
Was this Xbox Live?
Pretty much. So I click on it. There's a spoiler, and I'm like, fuck. Because, like, I wasn't expecting to see it. Like, that I would be mad about. But going on a news website and getting news, okay. Get over it. So Raw happened as well.
Before you go on, I must say this. One thing that's getting a little tired and played is the spoiler alert when people just say it, or if they write it like, spoiler alert, and then they say something that's really not like a big deal, like, oh, okay. But the only thing that makes me more angry than that is people on Twitter who are like, breaking news, like, be like, you need that to know that it's important news or that it's just happening. I mean, I like be like, 1,000 dead in Hurricane. Oh, okay. It was missing breaking, so I'm not excited about it. But you see, holy shit, 1,000 dead in Hurricane? Breaking? Oh my god! Like, and also,
I saw the tweet.
Yeah, and also, it's not breaking news if you're not breaking it, you a-hole. Like, it's breaking news if you're the one who broke the story, you stupid ass clown. Thank you. And I said ass clown. Wow.
You did.
Am I 14 and in 1999?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I was 14 in 99.
Thank you for everybody who stuck with us on that.
All right, we're halfway through the show now. Raw happened as well. Edge comes out to huge ovation in Toronto. Of course, we gotta just pound through this Raw. Yeah.
Edge, I guess.
Good promo.
Edge looks better now. He looks like he's grown into his short hair.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Before, when he had a cut, it was like that. It was like that. It was at that phase where like that hairband. Once they get short hair, they kind of like have that uncomfortable like helmet look that kind of looked like Rob Thomas for a while. But now it's settled in. He's got a good short look.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
So he said Triple H wanted Orton on the show, but Edge says Orton's boring, so he brings out Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan comes out, says it doesn't matter how much they beat them up, there's satisfaction in this struggle, and he will beat Randy Orton and become the new WWE champion. Edge says that's why he likes him. And that's why fans love him, because he takes this thing that's supposed to be oppressing him and uses it as like a fuel, you know. So Orton comes out and says that the only place that gives a crap about Edge is Canada, which is fine. Okay. Says Edge's body failed him at such a young age, and says that, but Edge says he may have problems with his spine, but at least he has one, which I thought was a great line.
Yeah, I popped for that.
Yeah. Also says Orton is Triple H's puppet. Triple H then comes out and says he can judge talent. Says he didn't think Jericho and Cena would amount to much, but time will tell about Daniel Bryan. But he was definitely right about one guy, and that's Edge, because he never drew a dime.
He didn't draw a dime, buddy. Every time Triple H drops the buddy, like, you know he's speaking from the heart.
Mm-hmm. And this is where the greatest...
Yeah, fuck you, buddy. That's what Edge should have said. Hey, we're in Canada.
I know.
I'm not your friend, buddy.
He says Daniel Bryan will have Big Show in his corner tonight instead of Edge. And asshole chants come out. And this was the most adorable chant, because they were chanting asshole in Canadian accent. It was like, asshole. I was just dying. My heart just swelled up 3 sizes too large.
The other great line was when Edge said WWE was a dictatorship.
Yeah.
And Triple H said that. Triple H goes, it's not a dictatorship, whatever. And Edge was like, yeah, you're right. You're not a dictator. You're just a dick.
Yeah.
I liked it. Oh my god, we're motoring through. We have a special guest in about 15 minutes, 14 minutes. Actually, 13 minutes more accurately.
Exactly.
We have a special guest coming up, so we need to make sure we leave room for him.
We're going to plow through this like...
Well, yeah, we mentioned it. Jonathan Essington.
Yeah,
we already talked about it.
I'm like, you're wasting time, man.
Buddy.
Okay, so Edge runs into Triple H's office and says he wishes he could be cleared so he could take on Triple H. And Triple H doesn't have any of it and kicks him out of the building. Kofi took on Curtis Axel. Kofi nearly won with an early SOS. But then Axel loses after he's disqualified for pummeling Kofi in the corner for over the 5 count. Heyman's upset because he's worried in the elimination match against Punk, the handicap elimination match, that's going to happen and he's going to be left with Punk in the ring. Heyman slipped in the hallway backstage, and there's a big mystery on who put water on the floor. It was so cheesy. Dolph Ziggler took on Bray Wyatt. Ziggler was given a jobber entrance, which goes back to... Excuse me, I drank that water too quick. Ziggler given the jobber entrance, which, was his punishment. I assume that's why. And then my notes were very sad. Bray dominates early, but Ziggler makes a solid match out of it, as he can with me in the ring. And Bray Wyatt hits him with the Sister Abigail to win the match. They named it Sister Abigail.
Yeah, we broke that down for a while. It turns out it's just a bleeping move.
Yeah. So Paul Heyman comes back to the ring hobbling with a cane. Says he doesn't believe in universal health care like they have in Canada, which I thought he was Zeb Coulter for a second.
I know, that was another stretch. Yeah. Like, how can we make this fit?
I know. Yeah. he has his own road doctor with him, apparently. Heyman
Who looks
says,
strangely like he could be an independent wrestler.
yeah, more than likely he is. Paul Heyman says he tore an MCL or ACL and won't be able to compete, unfortunately, at Night of Champions. Brad Maddox enters, our favorite Brad Maddox, and reminds him of their fully licensed medical staff and says if he is truly injured, only their doctors can determine that. This is awkward chance breakout.
That was a good one, too.
Yeah, as the doctors, or the WWE doctor kind of checks out Paul Heyman's...
I believe that's Michael Sampson.
Yeah. Doctor thinks he's fine. He threw out a bunch of medical terms that sounded like an episode of Dr. House. CM Punk enters with a kendo stick, and Paul Heyman, of course, runs out of there like nothing. There was no problem with his leg at all.
He looked like a scalded dog.
he looks like the Penguin from the Batman movies.
He looks like Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. What was that one movie with Paul Giamatti?
Sideways.
That was a good movie. Anyways, Heyman runs away quickly. CM Punk chants explode, and then Punk attacks the doctor that Paul Heyman had, and he also hit with the kendo stick to Curtis Axel. I thought it was a cool end to the show.
I'm sorry, you finish.
Punk needs more.
He does. He needs a match.
Yeah.
Our lovely friend Shane Moran pointed out last night that Punk laid out a good headshot with that kendo stick to that doctor.
Oh, yeah.
That guy took a beating last night.
Next up, we had Natalya, Naomi, and Brie Bella taking on Oksana, Alicia Fox, and Layla, which I thought was weird because Brie's a heel, and she's on the Naomi and Natalya team.
It was the Total Divas versus the non-Total Divas, also the three women who are fighting for AJ's title on one side.
But it was
Brie didn't fight, did she? I don't think Brie got tagged
into the match. But Nikki's still off the TV with her injury, I believe. AJ Lee is on the mic again, the trope we talked about. The Total Divas win. Natalya sharpshooter on Alicia Fox, which is a big pop for the sharpshooter in Toronto, of course. That was pretty cool. Next match we had R-Truth taking on ADR. And this is where the chants got really bad because no one really cared.
And I feel bad because it's... Well, unless Del Rio's in a compelling storyline, I really don't care about him. And then you throw Truth in there, and it's like, all right, this match is a lost cause. But, I mean, our Hell in a Cell poster boy, R-Truth.
Oh, yeah. If anyone hasn't seen that, you need to go on our Twitter or Facebook or whatever and take a look at it. It's literally R-Truth in a suit with, like, it looks like shadow of a cage in front of him for Hell in a Cell. Maybe he's going to be in the main event or something, but I highly doubt it.
They've already said their posters have nothing to do with the actual event storylines. Yeah. It's the same size as Teddy Long's suits.
Yeah.
And
it did look like it was his dad's suit.
Hold up, player.
Yeah.
We're going to make this a tag team match.
Tag team edition of WWE 2K14. Our next match, Antonio Cesaro with a returning Santino Marella. To a huge pop, of course, and I was just mad. I'm like, they're going to job Cesaro to Santino, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And
I was still surprised. I thought, because people tend to lose in their hometowns, I thought Cesaro was going to win.
I would have liked to see him because, that's another trope. The returning wrestler is going to win, regardless of who he's facing. I've never seen a returning wrestler come out and lose.
It's rare.
Yeah. But a big pop for the Santino. And the best move of the night was Cesaro. He, helicoptered Santino for, what felt like over a minute.
A la Killer Kowalski.
Yeah.
It was just an endless airplane spin.
It just kept going.
I loved. And then Santino played it up later when he was in the corner. He went to go punch Cesaro, and he missed by a lot and fell down because he was dizzy.
I'm sure someone's made a gif of that, just an endless helicopter. Holy shit chants broke out, which is cool. Santino goes for the Cobra, but Cesaro had none of it, physically dominating him until the Santino reversed the move into the small package and got the win. Returning wrestler trope was in my notes at the end there.
I was hoping for a Santino gimmick tweak, though. Upon his comeback,
you should come back.
Santino.
Should have came back as like a mafia don or something like that.
Yeah, you could have had the Los Matadores as his henchmen.
There you go. Damien Sandow took on The Miz. Randy Savage and the Y2J chants started during those matches. Miz was distracted by Fandango when Fandango came out and started dancing with Summer Rae.
And then what happened?
The Miz is pinned by a roll-up because he was distracted. Distraction trope.
Roll up. No kick out.
That was a fruit roll-up right there. And they announced that Goldust is fighting for Cody Rhodes' job, and I was excited about that. I haven't seen Goldust in a while.
They did a great job playing this up off of Raw, off of TV, I should say, with social media, and I was pumped to see him, and I knew he probably wasn't going to win because you're not going to have Cody get hired back this quickly. You're not going to have Cody show up and interfere. What I was kind of hoping to see was Goldust throw the match and somehow screw his brother over out of jealousy.
Join the corporation.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. To get what we got, just based on face value, not knowing what's going to happen this rest of the way, I was a little disappointed that it just ended up being a loss, and then they just bullied the shit out of Goldust. My highlight, though,
be a star.
my favorite was the Twitter handle WWE Creative-ish. I can't remember what the exact. I think it's like WWE Creative Humor or whatever. They said after Goldust's loss, he's out in the back. He's sad. His face paint's wearing off, and that's not why he's sad though. And Stephanie rubs it in his face, saying, "You disappointed your brother. You disappointed your family.
Oh yeah, it was hardcore.
You know, you're a loser." And WWE Creative tweeted, "Wow, Stephanie didn't even know that we were recording." That was so awesome.
Yeah. So Orton versus Goldust, you still got a chance. Started very early, and it was
a good match.
It was a solid match, and Goldust still has it clearly. They talked about him and Cody Rhodes having a match at WrestleMania at some point. I'd still like to see that.
Oh, I know. That's a team I want to see. I want to see those brothers get together.
And yeah, we already talked about when he was backstage in tears. He actually looked really emotional, and I thought he acted really well in that.
Goldust's always been one of those people that, like the Big Show, another guy who cries. They have decent acting for being wrestlers.
Big Show always cries though. RVD took on
because he's a bastard.
Ryback. RVD wins after Ryback was disqualified for outside the ring action, just a way for Ryback not to lose, and I don't know.
Speaking of distraction, I watched this entire match distracted because they were both wearing airbrushed singlets, and I couldn't get that out of my mind.
Couldn't get over it.
I don't know why Ryback even wears the singlet. Dude's just got to wear trunks. He's so jacked.
Yeah.
A la
Biggie
Sheffield.
wears the singlet too.
Yeah. It's like the visor in hockey now. Everybody wears the visor.
Yeah.
People got to wear the singlet.
Yeah. Or go Craig McTavish style and no helmet at all.
Yeah, let those curly locks flow. Yeah. Not mean.
I know what you mean. Daniel Bryan took on Dean Ambrose in our main event. Big Show has been told that he will be terminated if he lays his hands on the Shield during the match.
Terminated.
Very good match again, of course. Daniel Bryan and Ambrose, you're going to have a good match. This is awesome chance during it. Looked bad for Bryan, but he rolls up Ambrose into the small package for the win. Orton comes out, but Bryan Supermans him, which is always fun. Big Show grabs a chair, but doesn't do anything with it. Orton brings Daniel Bryan to the ring and hits the RKO. Triple H says he wants the Big Show to knock out Daniel Bryan again. Big Show enters the ring, but refuses to hit Bryan. And then Bryan nails Orton with that knee to the face and yes chants all over that bitch. Yeah, that was in my notes.
Great knee to the face, but again, the camera almost missed it.
Yeah.
And the camera pretty much missed him launching Ambrose onto the Shield from the outside.
Yeah.
Or to the outside.
They totally. I watched that twice and I didn't understand what happened. Like the Shield were just down all of a sudden.
Just stop showing the WWE universe.
Yeah.
See?
There you go.
Oh God, we're gonna talk to our boy Jonathan Essington. Jonathan is a writer with WrestleNewz, and he is gonna give us a preview of Night of Champions.
Well, we're all three of us are we're gonna go through each match. We're gonna give our predictions, kind of basically do a preview. So
excited!
All right, here we go. Watch him not pick up. That one doesn't get me. I'm always worried that people are gonna let me down. So exciting.
I wonder what his voice is going to be like.
Hello, this is John.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. This is Matt. I'm here with Jimmy. We just got through.
Jimmy, how are you?
I'm great, John. How are you doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well.
Do you prefer John or Jonathan?
John works.
All right.
Cool. So we just finished up talking about Raw on Monday, and we're gonna head into the preview for Night of Champions. I'm just gonna go down each match, and we're all gonna give our previews, kind of predictions on what's gonna happen. So the first match on the card is the pre-show match. It's for the number one contender for the tag team titles. We have the Real Americans, Tons of Funk, Primetime Players, the Usos, and 3MB.
John, we'll let you kick it off. You're our guest. Go at it.
Great. So, I'm a big fan of the Real Americans just because Antonio Cesaro is a hell of a performer. I mean, I haven't seen a match that he's been in that's been, what people would call bad. But they're definitely not getting the shot. Swagger's still doing his penance for that DUI charge. Mm-hmm. The Usos have been on the hot streak, but they've cooled down over the past month, so I don't see them getting it. Tons of Funk is really more of a gimmick tag team for the kids. With everything that's going on in WWE and outside of it, I can really see the Primetime Players getting that shot. But, they're going against the Shield. And the Shield is not losing the title anytime soon. So, like what happened when the Primetime Players faced Kane and Daniel Bryan months ago, the tag titles on another pay-per-view, they'll be in the match, but, they won't win. But I definitely see them taking that tag team title, battle royal, whatever, or what have you, it may be.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. I think Primetime Players are getting that push, especially with the Darren Young, coming out and being pushed, and they completely turned face with no explanation given, which is interesting to me. It was just like they're good guys now. But I totally expect Primetime Players to win that as well.
I'd like to be different, but you guys are right, and I'm curious to see if WWE will address at any point Darren Young's real life, lifestyle. I've said in previous podcasts, I hope they don't, because not that I don't think that the world would be ready for it. I just think WWE would screw it up in a way and just make it. Yeah. They'd make it tasteless, I guess. Yeah. But I see Primetime Players continuing to use this momentum that they've had with week in and week out winning matches, although they did not, correct me if I'm wrong, no, they did they fight on Monday?
I can't remember. I don't think so.
No, I don't think they did.
No, they didn't. No, I didn't see them. They didn't do anything, so, they'll probably be on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Something on SmackDown.
That's a good bet. And I know it's funny because the previous Raw from a week ago was almost like Monday Night Recap, and they didn't have nearly as many recaps this week, which is good. Mm-hmm. They need to utilize that 3 hours with the number of people they have, and they've done a good job with that. But you've seen Wade Barrett again, but I think it's going to be PTP. I don't see them getting over winning the titles quite yet, though. No. It's going to be a Shield victory.
Shield should win, and they will. I agree. All right, the next match we have on the card is the Divas Championship Fatal 4-Way with AJ Lee, Natalya, Brie Bella, and Naomi from the Funkadactyls.
Yeah, it's funny. I just wrote a little piece over at WrestleNewz.com about that match. The rumors are that they're going to take the strap off AJ because apparently this match is supposed to be the main event for the mid-season of Total Divas. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go off on a tangent for a second, but why is Total Divas having a mid-season? Why don't they just cut it out and make it season 1 and season 2? But in any case, though, that being said, I want AJ to retain, and that's what I'm going to predict. But I won't be surprised if Brie Bella wins it just because that makes for good television.
Sure.
All of a sudden having the heel divas on the show that everybody hates now as the champions, and then you have some hero who's rushing in and chasing the champion. If that's compelling, people will tune in to watch that. WWE is a business, and that's what they're focusing on, bottom line ratings, all that good stuff. Everything feeds into everything else. So I want AJ. I'm going to predict AJ, but I won't be surprised if they let Brie Bella take that title, unfortunately.
All right, Jimmy?
I could go myriad directions here. I could say, I think, number one, I think AJ will lose the title for the sole reason that they're going to want to have the belt on somebody from Total Divas. I could see Naomi making sense and maybe having her split from Trinity, or she is Trinity, I'm sorry, from Ariane, Cameron. But more likely what I think is going to happen is I think Natalya will win the title because that will allow her to have a program with AJ, and maybe we'll see some interference from Caitlyn on Natalya's behalf too. But I'm going to go with Natalya winning it. I know we could easily have Brie win it and have her feud with Nikki and Nikki be jealous because she's hurt and her sister wins the title. But I'm just going to go with Natalya because I think she makes sense in a program with AJ.
I'm taking Natalya as well. I think it makes most sense for Total Divas as well because she doesn't really have a main role like everyone else does. She's not as fiery. She's not in fights all the time with everybody. So that would kind of give her something to do on the show as well. Plus, she's great in the ring. She'll put on a good match. It will be a good program with her and AJ. I'm going Natalya all the way.
Yeah, I'd love to see Natalya win it. But, just with the way they've treated her so far, I'm surprised she hasn't won the Divas title at least 3 times by now,
Yeah.
They have her, being sidekick to Beth Phoenix, being a sideshow with Khali, just, Stu Hart's granddaughter, she's probably doing a lot more than that.
Yeah, she was a victim of the brief Kelly era where they were just throwing the title on her, and it was kind of a spectacle where even when Layla had it, Natalya, I mean, aside from Beth Phoenix, she's to me one of the best women they've had physically all time. When you look at wrestling ability, to me Lita is still tops, but Natalya has not gotten her due, and this would be a nice compliment to the way the Total Divas series started with her not even being in WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think she's the only diva who came into the WWE with legitimate MMA or some type of combat training. I know Eve took it on after she was in the WWE for a little while just to get better, but Natalya definitely is a Hall of Fame diva once everything is said and done.
Oh, for sure. We have an unconfirmed match up next. It's not on the card as of yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. We got Dolph Ziggler taking on Dean Ambrose for the U.S. Championship.
Man, times are changing. A few months ago, Dolph Ziggler was in the world title picture. And now, I've heard what Dolph said about, being part of this new stable, whatever you want to call it, that's fighting against the corporate establishment. But, I think everybody saw after that cash that he would be firmly entrenched in the world title picture. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened. My hope here is that Dolph wins by disqualification and he doesn't job again cleanly. I mean, you saw what happened last night. He jobbed Bray Wyatt cleanly. And apparently he's being punished for something that he said. That's what, WrestleNewz and other sites have reported. He said something during SummerSlam and now he's being punished for it. Yeah. But I'm hoping he doesn't have to do another job. So I'm calling Ziggler wins, but Ambrose keeps the title. So that's disqualification, or probably not count. That'd probably be disqualification. Still jumps in and does an ambush.
That's very possible. I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose just because he has been punished. He did lose cleanly. He had a jobber's entrance on Raw, which is usually reserved for Zack Ryder, or Yoshi Tatsu.
And that said so much.
Yeah.
Ziggler, the guy who used to be the world champion a few months ago, doesn't even get an entrance.
It's really sad, but I have to go against Ziggler on this one.
I'm going with an Ambrose victory, and it won't be clean, but he'll win it, and it'll just be another underscore of the. I want them to have a name. I'm gonna call them the Corporation just for kicks, but it'll be the Corporation not allowing Ziggler, one of their surly employees, to get over on a guy who's clearly one of the favorites in Dean Ambrose and the Shield.
Yeah.
Our next match is another unconfirmed match. Fandango taking on The Miz, two guys who need a victory.
Wow. Well, it's good that there are all these unconfirmed matches, because I was looking at the card earlier, and I was like, there's only 5 matches for a pay-per-view. Nothing seems like it would make that much stuff. So, I'm glad that both of these guys are actually doing something, because for a while, Fandango was just floating there, fiddling, doing much of nothing, randomly running in. This match, The Miz has recently it seemed like The Miz and Fandango have been trading back and forth, and, The Miz doesn't really need this. So if anything, I would call this a Fandango victory, just for him to get some momentum back. I mean, he got a huge pop last night on Raw.
Yeah.
But you know how those Canadian crowds can be. Those Canadian crowds are very different, and it makes for some very interesting telecasts.
Very polite as well.
Yeah. Still, so, but not off the strength of the pop he got last night, but I just see them giving this to Fandango so that they can set him up to be in some type of program, and he has some momentum.
I'm in agreement with that, and also Miz, I know he's kind of been almost relegated to announcer duties. He's been doing announcing on Main Event, and I know it's not exactly what he wants, but Fandango is the one who he's riding momentum. Summer Rae's been doing well in NXT. She's done well on the main roster.
She's hot.
And I think it's only a matter of time before she starts wrestling on Raw on a regular basis. You got to go with Fandango. I think it's what's best for business.
Fandango's the safe pick. I'll just go with him just because I don't really care about this match, and it makes the most sense. Our next match is Alberto Del Rio taking on Rob Van Dam for the World Heavyweight Championship.
So, this one, I came out with Sandow cash-in, and I hope that's what's going to happen here. Just the way that Sandow and RVD had those consecutive matches on SmackDown and Raw, the interaction between them, the fact that Sandow's been losing like crazy until recently, and recently, anybody who wins the Money in the Bank briefcase, they tend to lose for weeks, sometimes months on end, before all of a sudden they make the quote-unquote sudden cash-in. So I can definitely see Sandow cashing in on RVD, so that would mean RVD would get a clean victory here, or maybe even an assisted victory that the referee doesn't see. But I see RVD winning the title for a split second before Sandow comes out and cashes this in.
Go ahead.
I've got RVD winning this, and I don't think we'll see a cash-in at the show. We might see a cash-in attempt that never quite happens, even though they've done that before. I think RVD wins the title, and I think eventually Sandow does cash it in on him, maybe as soon as Raw.
Yeah.
I'm going with Del Rio. RVD has only been back for like 2 months. He's put on good matches, but he hasn't really proven that he can win big matches. I don't know. I just don't see Del Rio dropping it right now. It doesn't feel like the right time. If there is a cash in, I don't think Van Dam will beat him. I think if the cash in happens, ADR will win the match first and then get cashed in. But Del Rio also got cashed in already, last time. So I just don't see all that happening. I think Del Rio retains. Next match, CM Punk taking on Curtis Axel and Paul Heyman in the Elimination Handicap match.
So this, I remember one of the writers over at WrestleNewz, he wrote an article about how this has been like the deepest program in wrestling in months, and I'm really excited to see what they do here. I'm trying to think, some websites have floated out around the idea that, behind the scenes, they're thinking of having Heyman pick Punk to extend the feud, give it legs, and make it last through the fall. But at the same time, the way that CM Punk has been getting crowd reactions, I think that the roof would explode if he pinned Axel, and then it was just him and Heyman one-on-one in the ring. Obviously, he wouldn't get the chance to do any type of damage to him. Something would happen. But for this one, I'm going to call is this no disqualification? I hope there's no disqualification. I'm really at a loss. I don't know where they want to go with this. They can go, because I feel like they can go anywhere with the outcome of this match and still have it be, something that fans would eat up. That being said, though, I guess we would go with a Punk victory. But I can definitely see them going 6 different directions and still creating great TV just because Punk and Heyman are such dynamic characters.
I could see that, and what I think, just because of their chemistry, we're going to see this feud extended. I see Punk beating Axel, and then Heyman getting a victory over Punk due to Axel either coming back in and helping him, due to a no DQ rule or some kind of ref being out, or even Brock Lesnar coming and helping him out in some way. With Heyman always having some kind of trick up his sleeve, he will be prepared for facing Punk one-on-one with the help of someone or something. So I think we're going to see this one go maybe even through to Survivor Series, where we could see maybe Punk and Lesnar again.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and extend the feud, like you had said there, John, and it's like they don't know what to do with CM Punk right now, because it's gotten kind of boring for me, even though it shouldn't. I mean, these two are like the best guys on the mic. They're two of the best characters in the entire show, but something's missing for me, but I think they're going to try and squeak every last ounce of energy out of this feud, so I think it goes forward, and I think the only way to keep the feud going is for Punk to get screwed over and lose. So I'm going with probably Paul Heyman. I guess you're picking the team, so the Paul Heyman team. I'll take them.
What's missing for me in all of this is that the way they've built up Punk's character, especially the past 2 years, is that he would be, I think, more cerebral. They need a backstage attack. They need Punk hunting Heyman down backstage and doing something.
Yeah.
And that's what's really missing. Aside from the physicality, that's really missing is Punk being calculated, because he wouldn't wait until his time to come out to the ring to do something. He would be hunting Heyman down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they could still go that route. You know, they could have Punk walking around backstage with the kendo stick, but he just can't find him until the match starts. Who knows? You know? Yeah. Hopefully creatives are actually thinking of stuff like that. I mean, did you guys see the story like a couple of months ago where WWE was looking for soap opera writers for their creative team?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know where some of these guys get their ideas from or their lack of ideas, but hopefully there's some wrestling guy, somebody who knows something about wrestling, who's been in the business for a little while, who can tell them that an angle like that would do wonders for the feud and great.
Like Paul Heyman.
And another thing I think that's hurting it is that this angle's taking a back seat to the main feud with Triple H and Orton and Bryan, when I think realistically CM Punk has to somehow be in that feud.
Yeah.
I mean, when he had that title for 434 days, when he's not caring about the title, that it makes anything else he's doing feel empty. And I think they somehow need to tie in the title with this Heyman Punk feud, and then I think you're going to get, no pun intended, gold.
Well, and Punk's character wouldn't put up for what Triple H is doing anyways. So yeah, he needs to get involved real quick, and I hope it ends in Night of Champions, but I don't think it will. Our final match is WWE Championship, Randy Orton taking on Daniel Bryan. This is the big one.
Yeah, so this one is probably the easiest match to call. Orton is going to keep the title. He's walking out of there with the title. I don't know if Orton's going to do it by getting... Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to call an Orton victory, by some dastardly, deceitful, deceptive maneuver, whether that's Triple H or Stephanie restarting a match, one of them having somebody run in. Hell, they might even have some call-up they might call up somebody from NXT, have them run in, screw Bryan over, and then introduce this person as the new future face of the WWE or something ridiculous like that.
Evolution.
But,
Evolution 2.0.
Yeah. But, Orton's supposed to keep the title for a while. And, I mean, it makes for better television if the good guy is chasing the villain for a little while. So, Orton's probably going to keep the belt for at least a few months.
This match is going to be used to help build more equity and build up this feud. Bryan and Orton gave us some good matches prior to Orton's heel turn. I mean, we forget that Bryan made Orton tap in that no DQ match when he used the kendo stick.
Yeah, he did.
And they've had good stuff together. Now we get to see them for 30-35 minutes put their hands on each other when, for the most part, it's been lopsided up until Monday. I think what we're going to see is Orton winning with the help of the Big Show. And to me, it's going to be Big Show going over to the dark side because he has to turn heel or face every 3 weeks anyway. But this way they can say that he can say, I did it because I need the money, I care about my family first and foremost, and then within a show he's going to turn into a monster again. And I think this is perfect. They need this corporate bully. Speaking of that, if they got Ryback too, that'd be cool. Yeah. But it'll be nice to have Show just dismember people for the sake of Triple H's amusement, and he'll screw Bryan over, and this will be another hurdle, a big hurdle in Bryan's path, which will make it all the more satisfying when Bryan finally does win the title.
Well, it's the big hurdle. I think Orton wins, of course. I don't know. Kevin Nash will probably come in and powerbomb Daniel Bryan or something. That's my big prediction for the night. But yeah, definitely Orton wins. Who sent it?
and they laid the seeds because I think in an interview and some tweets, Nash was talking crap about Bryan and saying he was a midget.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Perfect. He can dye his hair again and come back at the Rumble. It would be awesome. All right. Well, that's our preview for Night of Champions. We want to thank John for calling in. Thank you, John.
Thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome back anytime, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great talking to you guys.
All right. See you, Leon.
All right, take it easy.
All right, bye. All right, thanks, John, for calling in. That's basically our show for tonight. I think it was a good one. It was fun. We got in a lot of rants.
A lot of fun. I'm always pumped. I know a lot of people crap on the Go Home show because everything's kind of set. People are posturing, getting ready for this pay-per-view. I think this is different because there aren't a lot of confirmed matches.
Yeah.
They put themselves in a box and paint themselves into that corner. Can I think of any other cliches to use? Because this is a championship-specific pay-per-view, and it's weird that you have one champion not even putting his title on the line, at least as of right now, and then you have a match that has no championship involved. So it's a little weird, but at the same time, I think you're going to get a good PPV. I think people who are going to expect it to be on par with SummerSlam and with Money in the Bank will be sorely disappointed. In that case, I'd say don't get the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because it's fairly predictable. I don't think there are going to be many swerves. But I'm going to be entertained, and I think we have it best, where if you're going to watch it in a group of 8 to 15 people, then it's totally worth it. You pitch in your $10-15, party on. I mean, It's going to be a fun time to watch. We do side bets every show. You pick a winner, and then by the end of the night, whoever has the most winners gets everybody's money, and you each put in $5.
It's sweet. It's a fun time.
Yeah, so we recommend you do that.
Yeah, we want to thank WrestleNewz, of course. Be sure to follow them on Twitter at WrestleNewz. Follow us on Twitter at ImmortalsPcast, at 97Bush, that's spelled like the beer, B-U-S-C-H, and at Jimmy Bellamy. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.